This is the office, made out of Lego. Now this set on its own, amazing. But what happens if we take this set and add 2,613 spare pieces? We get ourselves a fully fledged Dunder Mifflin. Oh my god, this thing is huge.
That's what she said!
Now while this build is freaking amazing, it caused me quite a few problems during the building process. Let me explain. Okay, so let's set the scene. It's March 2023. I've just finished building the set complex and I'm riding this massive high. I was so eager to build another large scale MOC, so that's what I did. I bought the LEGO Ideas Office set, popped onto Rebrickable to download the instructions, shout out to Brick Artisan, loaded the spare parts into BrickLink, and then I was looking at a price tag of 600 New Zealand dollars just for the spare parts. Oh dear lord. Now bear in mind, I just spent about 1,000 New Zealand dollars on the sit complex, so I wasn't quite ready to spend that kind of money again. I had to let my bank settle a bit, you know, replenish the savings. So I added the office set to my backlog and said to myself, I'll get back to this in a few months' time.
Several months later.
I tried to add dust to it for dramatic effect, but it just looks like shit. Yeah, so that few months turned into almost a year. Whoops. But in January this year, I said to myself, okay, I think it's time we bite the bullet. So I channeled my inner Shia LaBeouf. Just do it! I jumped onto BrickLink and immediately got slapped in the face with a new price tag of $900. Shout out to taxes, GST, and international shipping. Not. Even though the prices had gone up by $300 in the last 12 months, I knew that it was now or never. So I took the plunge and purchased 2,613 spare pieces. It's time to build Dunder Mifflin in Lego. I've been waiting a long time to say that. So these are all the parts that we need to make Dunder Mifflin out of Lego. We have one copy of the official LEGO Ideas Office set and 2,613 pieces of BrickLink. One of those was just the 48 by 48 base plate to put this thing on to begin with. So what I need to do first is actually unpack all these pieces and organize them into my little drawers. The sorting takes the longest, but we'll be okay. Before we do that, let's take a look at exactly what we're building here. So as you can see, this building, it's quite bland on the outside. I got to admit, it is quite grey and boring, but we'll spruce it up somehow. On the bottom floor is a dedicated warehouse. Plenty of shenanigans happen down here in the series, and we'll make sure to incorporate a number of Easter eggs as we go. The middle floor is where this set comes into it. It actually takes the shape and size of this build, expands it ever so slightly, and drops right on top of the warehouse. In the show, Dunder Mifflin is one level, but because we don't want this to take up an entire shelf on its own, Brick Artisan took some creative liberties and split it up into 2 levels. So the rest of Dunder Mifflin is on level 3. But anyway, enough talking. Let's crack into this stuff. So it's been a few days, but I've managed to sort all of the pieces into these containers. That took a minute. I couldn't fit them all into these containers. Some of the pieces were just too big. The clear walls, the grey walls, basically all those larger pieces, I've just left them in their bags. But now that we've finally got all the pieces, it's time to start building. Just before we kick off the build, this is the setup we're working with. We have an old broken Mac Pro just sitting here, which was collecting dust, which I'm now using as a second table because this table's not big enough to fit all these containers on it. And over here is my trackpad, which is connected to my MacBook, which is connected to my monitor, and all I gotta do is swipe this and the pages change. Look at that. Technology. Oh, that is so frustrating. Alright, guys. First floor is done. Oh, this looks so freaking cool. I should have known from the base plate how big this was gonna be, but this is huge. So, the references. Over here we have the basketball hoop, which is from the first season. Michael and the upstairs team face off against the warehouse, and
3,
fail miserably. Towards the back of the warehouse is all the paper stock, but there are 3 shelves here in the middle, which if you remember, Michael drives a forklift, and in the back is Daryl's office before we move upstairs. It's quite a sad office, not gonna lie. There's a computer and a seat, and that's about it. I love the design with the 1 brick and the cheese slope. It just looks really nice. There's a dartboard next to the side entrance. Now, I don't believe there was ever an episode where they played darts in the warehouse, but it does remind me of when Dwight tranquilizes Stanley with a little dart gun.
It's all right. Andy approved it.
So that could be a fun little nod. The layout's pretty accurate too. We have the 2 working desks in the middle there with the rubbish bins, and of course the stairs that take us up to level 2 where we have Dunder Mifflin itself. And just for fun, I put a balloon in there too. You're welcome.
Well, this has been fun, Pam. Thanks for calling us all down here.
But now it's time to move on to floor number 2, which incorporates the official office set. I'm very excited for this one. This has been sitting in my backlog for over a year now, and it's about time that I actually open it up. But I'm gonna do that on a live stream, so cut to that. So because level 2 is primarily made up of the official LEGO office set, I decided it would be a good chance to live stream it all on YouTube. What a man. Boom, look at that. Pam's desk, it's coming along. When Michael tries to throw the projector or something out the window during the fire drill, one of the funniest freaking moments ever. Probably one of the most iconic little bits of office lore. Froggy 101 in its place. Beautiful. You're right, Andy, this is one of the best sets ever. And just like that, the office is built. Yeah! Thank you to everybody who tuned in on the stream as I built this. We had a lot of fun. Now it's time to build this so that it can be incorporated onto the big boy in the back. So I believe what we're doing is building a frame that we then attach to the bottom of this set so that it can pop on top of the warehouse nice and snug. Oh, I can feel it snapping into place. Very nice, very satisfied. Is that it? What do I do? Surely there's more to it. I've already f***ed it up. Alright, we're cutting the cameras. I'm gonna fix this. And just like that, the second floor, the main set of the office, is complete. Now, I waited over 12 months to build this set, and I can confirm it was worth it. The amount of Easter eggs and details that the designers put into this set, it's a whole video in itself. Let me know if you want to see that. Just the little things, from the teapot on the reception desk, if you know you know. The TV with the DVD logo. Honestly, the more I look at this, the more I notice. And I love it. But the one thing you'll notice is it's quite compact, and we're missing quite a bit of the office. The accounting desks, the annex, the bathrooms, the kitchen. Where are they all gonna go? Well, that's what's happening on floor 3. So I was a bit too eager to build this that I just didn't record anything. Whoopsie. But anyway, this floor really seals the deal for me. It adds that extra height that Dunder Mifflin needs, but also the rooms which we're missing from downstairs. In this corner we have accounting where Angela, Oscar, and Kevin sit. Through the middle we have the kitchen, which also includes Wolf HQ, also known as Ryan's cupboard. Behind that we have both the bathrooms, including the red couch in the women's bathroom. Great touch. In front is a completely empty room, and this was a nod to the writer's room. This is where the crew would monitor cameras or retouch up the script while they were shooting. As someone who works in film, that's a cool reference. I like. And then of course we have the annex, and this is where our best friend Toby sits, as well as Kelly and Ryan when he's not in his cupboard. Woof! Finally, in the back corner is where we have the break room. So this is where the vending machines are, full of the snacks that Kevin steals during the fire drill, or they're filled with healthy snacks when the office goes on a diet and Dwight decides to fill it with fresh and healthy vegetables and fruit. This floor is obviously lacking a lot of stickers compared to the floor that we just looked at, but we can look past that. Well, all that's left to do now is put a roof on this thing. Jesus. Sorry. I lied. This isn't the last part. I've said this a couple times and I'll say it again. Out the front, too grey, too boring. So let's fix that with some storytelling. We'll take all the minifigures from the inside, jump onto Photoshop, print some stickers, and now we're done. Alrighty everyone, this is it. After 12 months, we have finally finished LEGO Dunder Mifflin. Whoa. You can just give me a second, let me just admire it. I'm impressed. Not gonna lie, this thing did look pretty bland and pretty boring until I put these stickers on and added the storytelling out the front. So I'm very glad that I did that, otherwise I would have been quite unsure about this build. But we overcame that hurdle and now we've just got one left. Fitting it on the LEGO City shelf. As you can see, I've got a place dedicated for it right there, but Dunder Mifflin is built on a 48 by 48 base plate, where most other modulars are on a 32 by 32 base plate. Basically what that means is Dunder Mifflin is just a bit too deep. So instead of this lining up with the sidewalks on every other modular building, this now lines up with the road. But we can work with this, it's okay. After a little DIY on the shelf, I was able to push the building right back into the corner, and I don't think it looks too bad. I guess we could just say Dunder Mifflin is the end of the road, and you gotta turn around and go back the other way, or I don't know. I'm feeling a lot more confident about this layout now than I was before, so phew. The top of the LEGO City shelf now has some mighty tall buildings. I love the different heights and the various colours. Dunder Mifflin does stand out as being a bit more dull, unfortunately, but thanks to the big old yellow advertisement and our storytelling along the front, it definitely helps give it a little more life. Some examples of this life include Dwight hanging from a power line. As you do, you know, just a normal day at work. We have Meredith getting hit by Michael's car. Then in the middle we have Michael breaking out into song. We have Daryl on the keys, Creed on the drums, and he's singing "Goodbye, Toby." And as you can see, Toby absolutely loved it. Down the back we have hay bales to represent the Hay King, and just in front of that is a stack of crates with none other than a custom Andy. Whew! This custom Andy is made up of Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, Ross from Central Perk, and some random red legs that I found. And we all know what he's about to do right here. Parkour! Classic. Now, this isn't the first time that I've built a large-scale MOC. If we look behind me, you'll see the Sit Complex. This 6-story tower is full of sitcom LEGO sets, including Friends, Seinfeld, and The Big Bang Theory. You can take a look at those floors and more by watching this video right here.